Hey everybody, what you're about to watch is footage I shot about 3 days ago at the Texas Renaissance Festival. It was the last day of the festival for this year. I got about half a day in there. And it was my second visit to the Texas Renaissance Festival, which I believe is somewhere near Houston. I live in Austin, it's like 2.5 hours away. And I didn't go last year, but I went the year before that. And that time I had like a full day there. We spent the night. My sister and my mother and I spent the night. That was like 2 years ago. This year we just drove down there. We had half a day there, and then we drove back. So it was kind of a quick trip. It's mainly just footage wandering around the festival, taking in a few shows and things. So yeah, I'll give you more information at the end of the video. If you stick around, I'll be back like this, just to talk about my experience there this year and 2 years ago. So enjoy the video and stick around, and I'll see what I can tell you about my experiences there. Bye. The Texas Renaissance Festival.
I saw y'all start.
Okay, sa época muy de Noruega, pero privada interesante.
Did you find sugar? I need to pick up one of their programs. Oh yeah, when you make it, they make it shield.
Maybe there'll be a person.
Okay.
I'm a private part, so moving too fast.
Yes, yes.
Slow the private. There we go. There we go, private.
I'm pretty sure one of these wedding party
That'll be on the Globe stage for those of you interested. 5 o'clock. It's the same digital as whatever. What are the crowd saying? Are you guys Irish? Crowds of Scotland is a really slow and boring tune. Not understand. You know, you can buy the best of Scotland at Walmart, and you can probably have something like that. But we're trying to make some independent music a bit fun, sir. And right now, we'd like to rock your socks off. This is like the finale, sir, to like our Universal CD. It's a piece dressed as Braveheart as you are that we want to appreciate. Lads and lasses.
about waving the stick at her. She might fly down and take thy head off. Fortune telling here, palm tread, problems put to bed. See thy future, know thy fate. Find out if you'll ever get a date. What needs to know?
Now this type of bird is really valuable to us because they have to keep a balance in nature of the things they eat. They eat things like rabbits, rats, squirrels, mice, rattlesnakes. Snakes in general is also a big part of their diet. Now speaking of things that he might eat, would you in fact like to see Spike do some hunting for us here today? Yeah. Are we sure about that? Yeah! Okay, well you're in luck, boys and ladies. It's a really short walk right over to the petting zoo. So follow us down this road. You're a bloodthirsty lot, aren't you? We're going to do a simulator down here today, lords and ladies. We're going to see if we can get him to attack a leather lure that he's trained to attack, much the same as he would attack prey out in the wild. Huh? And he's got his prey nicely up there. Got it. Now he will protect this just as though he's actually captured real prey, and a bird this size has about 250 pounds of pressure per square inch of gripping power in each foot. When they grab a hold of their prey, those feet lock down into place until they're relaxed enough to let it go, typically once that prey is dispatched. I think it's quite dead, Spike. He doesn't agree. He's still killing it apparently. Alright, he's not letting it go. I'm going to utilize an ancient falconer's trick to get him to let it go. Do you want to see an ancient trick? Yeah. Alright, watch closely. This is not the lure you're looking for. Okay, here we go. Oops, I dropped some food. What? It works every time. Good job, Spike. Now I have to hide this from him so he doesn't go for it again. By the way, if you see a bird coming at me and I'm not looking, perfectly alright to let me know about that. Alright, Spike. Well done, buddy. He's done a great job, hasn't he? Now, I would like to point out, lords and ladies, it's actually illegal for any person to hunt, kill, capture, shoot, or possess any bird of prey found here in this country. It's even illegal, lords and ladies, just to keep one single feather from a bird like this, students as risking tremendous fines or even imprisonment. Now, we do have special permits and licenses to present them for education programs, but it is illegal otherwise to keep a bird like this in your possession. Now, Spike is a new addition to our program. He's been new this season. He's learning the ropes still. The last behavior that he's being trained to do is to go back inside the building on his own. He has not done it one single time this season. We're going to have to put him on a command or a cue to do that activity, so we're actually going to give that command to you. So, here we go, we're going to give it a try. Up here. On the count of 3, everybody say, Spike, go home. 1, 2, 3. Spike, go home! Right over there, home, up. Home, up. One more time. 1, 2, 3.
Spike, go home!
We're flying, we're flying. You've done the impossible today. Nicely done. I think this is going to be very fun.
Well, hold on, that doesn't open anything. Oh, it's good. I don't like to be the sea. I do like to stroll upon the crump, where the grass gun goes into the rump. And there were lots of pretty girls for me to be beside the seaside, beside the sea. Oh, hello again. Mr. Punch isn't downstairs, he's in jail. He escaped. Well, and he's downstairs. I don't believe you. Ow! Let me guess who that was. All right, then if that was Mr. Punch, then he's going to come up and try and hit me again. So tell me when to duck, all right? All right, are you ready? I hope so. Ow! Let's try it again.
I think it was right there.
Just take a picture. We did the same thing in Scarborough. We go to the chest. I know, it's so much fun. And then I just turn around and I watched it.
Maybe they moved when migrated.
everybody, I'm back, and so let's talk about the Texas Renaissance Festival. This is, I believe I mentioned maybe, I don't even remember what I said at the beginning of the video, but it's like my second trip there. I didn't go last year, I went the year before that. I went with my mother and my sister, which is where I go to, who I go with on most trips. And yeah, I went with them 2 years ago, well, the Christmas before last. And again, it was the same day. It was the final day of the festival. And I say Christmas because there's a themes to every weekend of the festival. There's a fairy theme, a pirate theme, a Halloween theme, and then there are, what are the others? There's like a Roman theme, a barbarian theme, there's like a Highland theme, and then there's like a Christmas theme. And that's the final one, the Celtic Christmas. Because this festival, if I've got my facts straight, I think it starts like a little bit into October and it ends, near the end of November. We went this Sunday, which was like the final Sunday of November. And yeah, it's a really neat festival. It's got this very permanent location. It's got permanent buildings. This place looks like it's pushing to be like a real theme park. I don't know why it's not year-round, but I guess, I can see, how it should, grow more before it would be year-round. But it's pretty good. I mean, I think it could do a year-round business. But maybe, I don't know what the weather's like over there. But yeah, it's a pretty big thing for this type of thing. I can't say I have a lot to compare it with. We have a Sherwood Forest one here in Austin, which I hear is quite a bit smaller in comparison, kind of a thing. I haven't been to it. I know that a lot of the local cosplayers will go to both. I'm such an amateur cosplayer that I can't put myself in with that. But this one it's near Houston, I believe. It's 2.5 hours away from Austin, and it's a really cool place. I mean, it really seems almost like a small theme park, I mean, it doesn't have like a roller coaster or anything. It doesn't have a castle or anything, which might be what they need to start building right now to really bring it, home. But if you haven't been to a Renaissance Festival, it's a lot of course they're selling a lot of stuff. Now, I always imagine these as like a lot of tents and stuff where they're selling goods, sort of like if you go downtown during one of their festivals and they have like tents where they're selling homemade jewelry and stuff like that. Well, like this place has like real solid buildings, permanent buildings, and very cool and Renaissance or actually almost more medieval kind of. I don't know, I guess that merges a lot in this kind of festival. It's Renaissance, but it's also medieval. And people coming in costumes will come in medieval type costumes, but they'll also come in Renaissance. And there's sort of a pirate themed area of this place, and there's a barbarian themed kind of area. So you have a lot of those kind of costumes as far as the cosplayers and just general people who are like willing to wear costumes for this in particular, and they'll come. And this is a good place if you're trying to start out as a cosplayer. It's a good place to start out, as far as getting used to being in public in a costume. But yeah, they have all these like little themed areas. It's kind of loose. The kind of transition gets kind of loose, but they sell things in these buildings. Like they have different shops. They'll have a shop where they're selling swords and a shop where they're selling certain clothing articles, like a hat shop or a shirt, a puffy shirt shop, pirate shirt, boot shops, so if you want to like beef up your cosplays or something, it's a good place to go shopping. I've heard a lot of people say, boy, you can spend a lot of money at this place, and you can. I have been broke on both of my visits because, I usually find out at the very last minute that we're going to go, so I don't have anything set aside for it. If you don't know, I'm in between jobs right now. I got laid off, so hopefully I get a job with better pay than my previous job, because I was barely skirting by. But we're hoping next year actually to go to the Renfest for 2 days and you know, stay the night. We stayed the night last year, but we still only went to the festival for 1 day. There's a nice hotel over there nearby. There's also a campgrounds that a lot of people say it's a lot of fun to go to. I've never been camping. I wouldn't mind trying it there, but not with my mom and sis, but I wouldn't mind trying it. Yeah, getting to this place is quite a... you need a good GPS if you've never been there before. And especially if you're leaving at night, because it is pitch black and you are pretty much out in the woods in the middle of nowhere. It can be kind of creepy. You don't want to get a flat tire or something. You don't want your car to die out there. But the parking lot is actually really cool. It's got... I'm not used to tall trees and stuff like that because I grew up in South Texas and everything's dry and the trees are small and dry and everything. But yeah, it's a very nice area. But you're like out in the woods for this place, and it's cool. It puts you in that medieval feeling when you're walking through the woods towards the actual gates of the place. And yeah, it's like going into a theme park. It really is a small theme park. But I mean, let me put it this way: I enjoyed this place more than I do Fiesta, Texas. But I'm not a roller coaster guy. You're not gonna find a lot of rides at this place. They do have like some kind of giant swing ride. They have for little kids, they have a few things. They have pony rides, and they have elephant and camel rides, and they seem to be better condition than like if you went to the circus. I hope they're treated better. This place is only open, you know, a couple months out of the year. So, you know, maybe. They have they have some musical entertainment here and there. They have like 3 or 4 spots with like a medieval type band with like lutes and harps and things like that. And they have, you know, their Celtic band that's playing on bagpipes and stuff. They have Tartanic is the one that we've seen a few times there. They were here this time and last time. I think they tend to have the same entertainment. They have a bird show. You saw some of that in the video. You saw Tartanic in the video briefly. I mean, a lot of this stuff I did catch in the video. They have a few stages throughout the place. They have a guy who does a puppet show. I'm not talking about the one in the video. That's what's the name of it? It's the famous Punch and Judy. Okay, I actually caught some video of that Punch and Judy show. But they have a guy who's, you know, ventriloquist guy on one stage, and I didn't catch any footage of him. I barely caught the end of like his show. This was a really short trip for us this time. And after that, you know, I caught the guy who was doing the how else do I say it? He was juggling his balls, you know, like the glass balls, like in Labyrinth when David Bowie's playing with that. Okay, I caught some footage of that. You saw that in the video. That went on right after the ventriloquist, and so yeah, they have a lot of entertainment like that. And they have archery. They have and they have, you know, they have their food booths. I caught some footage of that. And they have an enchanted trail where usually there'll be women dressed as fairies doing a little fairy dance thing, and you know, they'll have the little kids, they'll, you know, join in and stuff. We didn't see the fairies this time because some of the people in costume, as I understand it, work there. I would assume some of the you know, when they're doing things like that, and then some of them are you know, just, you know, because people are there in costumes. So usually they're happy to take a photo with you too. I in that video, I had some very brief amount of footage in the little fairy trail. I forget what it's called, the enchanted like garden, some enchanted garden or something like that, or magical garden or or something like that. That's what the little trail is called. And it's a place with some good photo spots. My sister got some cool photos. She put on this Renaissance dress. You can see it on Instagram. But yeah, we got some cool photos there. It's basically a trail for some cool photo ops, and if the fairies are out, to have some little fairy encounters. But full-grown fairies, I mean, it's just, you know, it's like meeting Tink and friends at Disney World. But yeah, oh, where was I? There's people in costume. There's people who, one of the big draws for me, a lot of very lovely, if I have a fetish, it's for costumes. And, you know, with all the people who go there in costume, yeah, it's nice. Especially the fairies. I love fairies. But there weren't as many fairies this year. Actually, you'll notice in the footage, there wasn't a ton of people in costume the day that we went. Now, there's actually a weekend that's a fairy type weekend in October. I would like to go during that weekend. But, you know, both times we've gone, it's been the Celtic Christmas. And last time we went, again, that was two years ago, a lot of people in costume. Lots of cute fairies. Fairies, I think, were in a popularity high at that time. Now it's more like barbarians and stuff, according to my sister. So, yeah, we didn't see as many cute fairies. There were still a lot of lovely costumed ladies walking around. I even saw a Lolita costume. If you don't know what that is, it's not like the movie Lolita. It's a certain style that's like, you know, very cutesy with where you wear those birthday cake looking dresses, and it's a specific fashion style. But I was surprised to see you'll see all kinds of things. People who do costumes will go in any kind. I saw Deadpool there. Now, he might have been like a medieval Deadpool, I'm not sure. There was a Harley Quinn with him. And yeah, I think I saw a Batman who was like a medieval Batman in armor, like knight armor. And there's always a few Doctor Who's, and that makes sense. I'd like to go there dressed as Ash from Army of Darkness sometime when I get back into shape. I did dress as Ash like in college one time. It was pretty cool. I want to redo that costume better someday. But yeah, that'd be a cool place for that. You'll see costumes like that. I would love to see a couple of guys dressed as Bill and Ted and walk around there. That'd be pretty hilarious. But yeah, because it's, you know, it's a great place for photo opportunities, you know, if you're a cosplayer and stuff. I was saying, I got off track probably several times already, but during that Magical Garden Fairy Trail thing, there was a girl dressed like Elsa from Frozen there, and you saw in the footage if you watched, and she was like greeting children and stuff, and I think she was probably just a cosplayer who just showed up in her Elsa costume. I don't think she worked at the but she might have. So I don't know, but you know, that's the way it is. You know, you might go in a costume, and if you go in a costume at Disney World on Halloween, which is the only day you're allowed to wear a costume at Disney World if you're an adult, you're not allowed to take pictures with anybody. I felt kind of bad. Somebody wanted to take a picture with me. People will tell you just need to wave and keep walking, or, you know, tell them sorry I can't, because it's against the rules, and you can get like, you don't want to break the rules at Disney World. Getting a little off topic here and talking about Disney World, they will ban you for life. At the very least, you know, I mean, they'll probably give you a warning for something like that, but you don't want to get kicked out, and you definitely don't want to get banned for life. If you're a Disney fan like I am. But anyway, so but back to the Renaissance Festival. Yeah, you know, it's different here. Here you can wear your costume. If somebody wants to take a picture with you, you can. If somebody wants you to sign an autograph book, you can. You can't do that over there. But yeah, so it's a great place for cosplayers, and especially if you're just trying to get your feet wet as far as if you're inexperienced with cosplaying publicly. Like I am, but I haven't done it there yet, because I don't really have a, you know, I wouldn't go there unless I had a costume that suited the theme. I wouldn't go there in you know, a costume as like a Ghostbuster or something like that. Well, that might work too. I don't know, but you know, I wouldn't go there as a Star Wars character. I saw that last year. I saw a lot of variety. I mean, yeah, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. I would want to be something where I can take pictures in certain areas and, you know, take advantage of the of the scenery, like the medieval or Renaissance buildings and stuff. Like I said, I'd like to dress as Ash. That'd be fun. Yeah, there's a lot of costumes and stuff, and there are a few rides. There's a little petting zoo we wanted to go into because it had a camel. We never petted a camel, but that was like $5 to get in, and which isn't bad, and it came with the food and everything. But that's another thing at this place. You know, you get in, and yeah, I think you pay a fair amount for these tickets. I don't know. I didn't pay for these tickets either time. I've been invited both times and it was paid for. But so go to texrenfest.com and maybe it says somewhere how much it costs. But and it's a good experience. I do recommend going to this. I don't know how much it costs, but yeah, when you get in, you still got to pay for stuff. That's one good thing about Disney World. I think ever since the early 80s, you get in, you don't have to buy a ticket book or anything. Or, well, I mean, I think a ticket book came with your entry back then. And then if you wanted to do something else, you probably had to buy more tickets or something. I always thought carnivals kind of sucked because you had to like pay for each individual ride, or you had to get tickets for each individual ride. But that's, here basically you just bring cash. A lot of things here only take cash. And again, you know, this is closed for now, but if you go next year. Yeah, so I didn't have any cash to do anything. But we did try some of the food. Yeah, the girls serving the food, some of them are quite lovely. There's guys too. If you like guys, there's guys. And they're dressed also in warrior or medieval type. I got a little bit of footage of that. And I like costumes, you know, so this was like a dream place for me. So is, you know, Disney World and stuff. Yeah, we got the fish, some kind of fish and shrimp platter at one of the outdoor areas where you can get food. And it was very good, actually. It was $9, but it was a pretty good pile of fish and shrimp. I don't know if it was all frozen stuff or what, but it was good. It was good. Let's see, did we eat anything else? I think we tried something else later. Oh, well, we got the hot chocolate. There's a big place with a big sign that says chocolate, so you can get some hot chocolate there. And I think they have coffee or something too. And we always go there and get the hot chocolate because, again, we're there for the Celtic Christmas period. And that also means that Santa Claus is there at the front of the place. And it's a really nice setup, and I think you can also sometimes catch him walking around. And I will say that last year I caught Santa Claus walking through the streets, and he was such a cool medieval looking, like a Celtic looking Santa. And I took a picture with him, but the picture got lost somehow. I mean, it got deleted. Something happened. And so I don't have my picture with the Celtic Santa Claus. This year he looked a little bit more like a regular Santa Claus, but also he was sitting in a throne, you know, like at the mall with a long line. I don't know if he ever just wandered around. If he did, I didn't see him, so I never got a picture with him this year either. But yeah, but he was really cool 2 years ago when I went. But yeah, so Santa's there. There's a lot of Christmas lights and Christmas trees up. I don't know if they're always there, or that's just, I assume they just set that up. And maybe it's there throughout November, but, you know, again, this was the Christmas weekend, so I don't know if it's just there for the Christmas weekend or what. And I was talking about costumes. Like I said, I don't really have any appropriate costume, but I did have a pirate hat that I got at Disney, so I wore that. Which you saw in the footage. My sister, on the other hand, made this like gorgeous dress. She's gotten more and more into this costuming stuff, which is pretty cool. She's good at it. I can sew, but I can't sew clothing. I can like sew stuffed animals, and I can fix things, you know, with sewing, or I can do some minor things. I can't figure out how. I mean, I could probably put some effort into it and figure out how clothing works, but maybe I will someday. But I just sew by hand. So does she. So Making a big costume would be tricky, but I wouldn't mind putting together a good pirate costume or a good Robin Hood type costume someday. But yeah, I just wore the pirate hat, and it was cool. You see a lot of people like that. A lot of people are not in costume. Again, this year that seemed to be more the case, at least the day we went. You know, if we went on Pirate Adventure Day or or Halloween, or if we went on the ferry weekend or any of the other weekends, maybe we would have seen more costumes. I don't know. But this particular day, and there's still a lot of costumes, but yeah, 2 years ago when we went, we saw a lot more of that. Again, that was the last day of the thing. And you know, you can buy so much for your costumes there, because I mean, they have shops that sell steins and shops that sell, you know, other things, but a lot of it is costume stuff for your Renaissance fair type costumes or decor. They have, like, you know, a lot of decor. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. You know, when I go with more cash, I'm gonna have a lot more fun. I know that. But last time we were there 2 years ago, we did try the archery booth, and I don't know if I tried. I think I did. My sister tried it. I'm pretty sure I did too. And last 2 years ago, we ate at a place that served barbecue, and I'm not sure which place that was, but they had belly dancers. That was pretty cool, and it was like a family belly dancing troupe. I'm pretty sure they were belly dancers, some kind of dancing. I think it was belly dancing. It was 2 years ago. I know one of them was super cute, but and that was in the restaurant, and it was actually like an indoor type restaurant that had, you know, it was like a barbecue place. And let's see, but I was mentioning the hot chocolate booth, which is in that trail when you first come in. It's not it's in one of the actual buildings. It's not one of the outdoor booth things. And they have two kinds of hot chocolate. They have like regular, which is a little too sweet, and they also have the Aztec hot chocolate. Get that one. It's a little bit spicy. You can kind of taste like a cinnamony taste to it, but it's way better. Unless you prefer a really sweet, basic hot chocolate. But it's a good thing to get. You go on the holidays, you know, hot chocolate. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink hot drinks at all, except hot chocolate. But yeah, it's you know, the Texas Ren Fest. It's a lot of fun. They have jousting shows. We missed that this year. We saw like half of one last year. If you've been to Medieval Times, you know what that's like, except this one is outdoors in a huge arena. It's pretty cool. And in that same arena, they'll have a fireworks show in the evening. We left this time. We left before that, trying to beat the traffic. There was still a lot of traffic, but leaving was easy. But then when you got out of the parking lot, that's when it got scary and pretty rough. First it was just dark, and then you got to, when you finally got to the highway, bad traffic you're trying to squeeze into. But what else? Yeah, that's about it. We saw the bird show this year. We hadn't seen that before. That was pretty cool. There's this other stage where I think it's like a pirate kind of a thing where they just pull kids up and like, let's teach you to be pirates. You see kind of see this kind of stuff at Disney World too. It's similar. The only thing it doesn't have tons of big rides. That would be the big difference between this and like a real theme park. But it's close. It's a great place to spend a weekend. It really is. I mentioned Fiesta Texas. When I go to Fiesta Texas, I am bored pretty quick. Now, I don't ride roller coasters most of the time. I've gotten more daring with the roller coasters, because I was going to say I don't ride them if they go upside down. I might have been on one. I don't know, does Rock and Roller Coaster go upside down? I don't know if I've been on one that goes upside down. I think that one does. But in general, I don't get a lot of pleasure out of that kind of stuff. I like chill rides where the entertainment value is from like what you see, like animatronic characters and stuff. And I don't mind a drop in a flume ride, you know, a log ride. But yeah, I don't really, having my stomach jerked around doesn't do a lot for me. I also don't like teacup spinning rides. I'll ride the teacups because it's like, it's Disney, you know, when I'm at Disney World. But yeah, I mean, I like where you're just in a nice, chill, like, car, and you're like, oh, there's Winnie the Pooh. He's stuck in the hole again. And you go around the curve, and oh, there's Eeyore. I just knocked over Luke Skywalker. But yeah, you know, I like really relaxing theme park rides. But this place, yeah, they don't have a lot of rides, but they have a lot of cool stuff to see and cool entertainment. Oh, in that video was the pirate singers that are in this really cool little eating area that's very pirate themed. It's like being on a pirate ship. They have overhead, like they've got all the ropes and the you know, pirate flags and stuff, and there's like a stage that looks like half of a pirate ship. I got footage of that, so that was really cool, and I want to get a full-on pirate costume, and I want to eat there next year. That'd be cool. So yeah, it's got a lot of cool stuff. I just caught little glimpses of things, and honestly, in the video footage that I caught, and like I said, this was a really quick trip, and I wasn't even sure I was going to film anything at all, but I went ahead and did it anyway. It doesn't look like much in the footage. There's a lot of areas where it's just kind of empty space, and it looks like just dirt, and way over there some buildings, and there's people meandering around. But it's more theme park atmosphere when you're actually there. The footage didn't really translate that well. I think if I had filmed it the last time I was here, it would have seemed more like an event, a theme park type thing. You know, a lot of people. I think it just depends on the day you go, you know, because like last year, a lot more people walking by in costumes, and you still had that, but they've also got like horse and buggies going through the, you know, medieval looking ones. They've got gypsies and stuff, gypsy camp, where they'll, a fortune teller type thing, and yeah, I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff which you would think of from Renaissance and medieval type stuff. And they've got a shop that sells armor and everything. It's pretty cool, and I assume it's, you know, it's pretty educational in a lot of ways. I would say I highly recommend you go check this out next year. You know, maybe you'll be watching this next year, but I filmed this in 2016. You were just coming on it. Yeah, I do recommend checking this place out if you have an interest in medieval times or Renaissance times, and if you like carnival type atmosphere or more like theme. This is more like theme park atmosphere than carnival atmosphere, but it's got a little bit of that, you know. And if you want a place to go wear costumes, you know, you don't even have to have a theme appropriate costume. You can wear whatever. I'm more into being something theme appropriate, but not necessary. And just make sure that you got a really good GPS to get there and get back if you don't know where this place is, because it's really hidden away. And take a lot of cash, like cash. You know, be careful with it, but you know, if you're gonna stay at the camp or something, or even anywhere, anytime you got cash on you. But I know a lot of the places places within the festival don't take anything but cash, and you're not gonna want to go broke. I would have had a lot more fun both trips that I took here if I hadn't been broke. So I don't recommend going broke, but I did have fun. I did enjoy it, and you know, there's good places to eat there. It's not cheap. It's like going to a theme park or something. But it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth checking out, you know. So that's all. I'm just rambling about. I hope I gave you some kind of useful information in all of that. Again, go to texrenfest.com if you want to, you know, see their actual website. It's a very cool place. It's impressive. I'll put it that way. When you imagine, if you've never been to a Ren Fest and you imagine it in your head, this is better than that. I was, you know, quite impressed with like the buildings and everything. It's like a real like theme park thing. It's not like we set up some tents because we're having the festival. No, I mean, and that's cool too. But this is, you know, that's what I imagined. It's just like, oh, we're gonna have the festival, so let's set up the tents and the, you know, something more like a medieval carnival is what I was imagining. But and it's got areas like that, but it's way more professional. It really is. And yeah, I recommend it. Check it out. Go to the website and it'll tell you about the different themed weekends and all that. And you'll see, you know, some pictures and stuff there. And, you know, I hope you enjoyed the footage. Maybe I'll see you there next year. So long.